Okay. LoveLine is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised. Now, here's LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Drew. You get your own goddamn Kleenex 10 seconds before the show starts. I asked Drew to do one thing. Drew has one job besides sit here like a pimple on a chimp's ass, which is use this stupid Marks-a-Lot board and write the calls down that we won and have some Kleenex to wipe it. A tenth of a second before we go on the air, he goes, get the Kleenex. Like Boss Hog yelling at Enos.
I've been sick. What can I say?
It's high horse.
Not even a high horse.
It's
move.
out of the barn early tonight.
No.
Let me give the LoveLine phone numbers out. 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191, fax number 310-854-4455. I am Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician and an addiction medicine specialist.
Be there.
Yes, and Kids in the Hall tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, the folks... I'm laughing because the program director at the station said, don't use the word folks.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like I'm narrating at some, country bear jamboree or something. The dudes, the chicken dude from Pacific Blue, the hot new TV show on the USA Network, which involves bicycles and the ocean and tight cycling shorts and cops, which is on Saturday nights. And, on the USA Network, as I've said before, it could last 10 days. It could last 25 years. You never know. So go out and see it. We have Darlene Vogel, and we have Marcos, say it, Drew. Ferraez, yes, coming in here. One of the girls was bumped. She has walking pneumonia. So Marcos...
I can distinctly empathize with.
Right, because you just had that, right?
Ugh.
Marcos is in. He's going to keep an eye on Darlene, and we're going to have a good time. But until we talk to them, we're going to talk to Danielle, 21.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've known this guy for a little over a year now. It seems that a couple weeks ago that we slept together, and I tried talking to him ever since then. Because I don't know why, because we're really, really good friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just all of a sudden, he just stopped talking to me. And I don't know if he just had sex with me just because I was there, or if he actually had feelings for me, or what.
Yeah, something happens to guys after they have sex.
What happens?
Well,
they go to sleep.
Well, they roll over and go to sleep. But before that, you get this thing, when you get tetanus, like you step on a rusty nail, you get the lockjaw?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing.
With what?
Well, you don't have to hit your penis on a rusty nail in order to get the lockjaw. Guys, when they're done having sex, the jaw locks up.
The tongue and jaw, everything goes.
The tongue and jaw, but no, wait a minute. But they can't open their mouth in order to shovel in chips, salsa, and other snack-related items. And the hand works fine because that can operate the TV remote and the refrigerator door and other things I use the right hand for, although I use my left hand.
But it's just, I don't know, because we can talk for a little bit, but when it comes to I'm I need to sit down and talk to you, he goes, well, I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Well, he's avoiding you. I mean, when you get close like that with somebody, it gets scary. Feelings come up that you don't expect, and maybe he's afraid you're going to say you really want to have a relationship with them, or maybe he's afraid you're going to say that it was no good, you don't want to see him anymore, or you're mad at him. I mean, who knows what it is that he's avoiding, but he's avoiding you, he's avoiding your feelings, he's avoiding the consequences of this intimacy you guys have maintained, or have experimented with.
Danielle.
Yes.
Tell us how it happened. You were friends for a year.
Uh-huh.
And never any fooling around in that year.
No.
And then all of a sudden, one night, it happened.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. It just happened.
Well, come on. Give us some details, because I want to know. I have a lot of female friends. I'd like to see if I could achieve this.
I don't know. It just kind of happened. It's just...
Oh, for Christ's sake, fill us in. It just kind of happened. It's not an answer to this question, Danielle.
Well, I don't know. He just said, are you going to come over to my house? And I kind of did, and it just happened.
All right. I've had enough of her.
It just happened.
Well,
she needs
that's
to sit down.
not
Look,
an answer.
It's not an answer, but the fact is, here is the answer that she's looking for, and that is she needs to, it may not be the one she wants to hear, but she needs to sit down and talk with him. She needs to confront him aggressively, insist that he stop and listen, and just have a conversation with her. That's all, so they can reestablish their friendship.
Confront him aggressively.
No,
You mean
just
like
say, hey, no,
like a
say,
rodeo clown?
No, I'm saying, like, look, don't avoid me. Don't run away when I want to say I want to talk to you. Let's talk. And just she's got to put it out there first.
No, screw him. He's being a baby.
Right.
She don't need him.
All right. That's another answer.
There you go. Nick, 16, you're on LoveLine.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good.
That's Drew.
Hey.
Nick.
I had a question for you. I was wondering how long I should wait after my girlfriend's period to go down on her. Because I kind of want to be a surprise, and I don't want to ask her, how long it'll take for her to be, all cleaned up and everything. And all my friends are giving me, like, hundreds of different answers. They're like, 2 days, a week, you don't got to wait at all. And, I just kind of figured y'all would know if anybody would.
Well, we certainly would between the two of us. Well, it depends, how daring you are.
Well, I like her a lot and everything.
I mean, that's what Adam is saying is you don't got to wait at all.
No, you don't. Are you a squeamish guy?
Not really, but if it's really bad, I might surface for air a little more often.
But he's a romantic.
He's like a humpback whale, this Nick. Yeah. Nick, you really want to impress her. You get down there in the middle of it.
I don't know about all that. I don't know.
Nick, you want to prove your love to her?
Well, it's kind of be a surprise that she don't know what's coming in.
Oh, it'll be a surprise. Believe me, she'll be surprised. You put on a pair of shop goggles and get down there.
Now, let's be sensitive to how she might feel about that. She might not be all that comfortable with that either.
That's true. Oh, wait a minute. Great ploy. Great ploy. All men. Attention, men. Wait, I need my reverb. Attention, male LoveLine listeners.
A ploy?
Yes.
What does that mean, ploy?
Ploy, a plan.
A way of manipulating women.
Producer Ann, you listen up on this one and tell me if this isn't brilliant.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
No women want you to go down on them when they're having their period. There's maybe 0.5% will feel comfortable with that. Wouldn't you say, Ann?
Maybe.
Oh, come on. Would you go along? I'm trying to make a point.
1/2 of 1%?
She's saying a higher percent, 10%.
Out of every 100 women...
I don't know if it's 1/2 of 1%.
Out of every 200 women, there's probably only one who feels comfortable with a guy going down on her right in the middle of the period.
Not necessarily.
More. She's saying higher. All right, give her a couple percent. Give her
What, because I don't give you the answer that you like?
Just go along, Ann.
Okay.
5%.
All right, a very small portion of women would feel comfortable with this.
Probably.
Especially if the relationship is semi-new.
Oh, yeah, if it's new, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you have your husband and he's got that beer-soaked T-shirt on and you guys have been staring at each other for 20 years, that's something else. But a new relationship, very small percentage.
Okay.
Guys should always offer because they're going to tell you, no, that's okay, but you're going to score huge points.
But what if you're with that one out of that 5%? Then you're so bummed.
Then you fake an injury.
Oh, yeah. Or you fall off the bed all of a sudden?
You pull your service revolver out and shoot yourself in the foot. I don't know what you do. But that's not a bad ploy.
Maybe.
All right, Ann. Enough of you. Nick?
Yeah.
Offer to do it. She'll tell you no. And then you can wait like 3 weeks and say you forgot about it. I really have no good advice for anyone, do I, Drew?
Occasionally you do, but not tonight.
Angel.
Yes.
You're 20, you're on LoveLine.
Hi.
Hey.
My question is that when, about 7 years ago, I was very brutally raped. And now when things start going well in my life, like I get happy with a relationship or anything else, I start having serious nightmares and wake up from screaming.
Wow.
And other things. And
Isn't that interesting how our minds work?
Yeah, and serious flashbacks.
But it's fear of losing and being violated again the way you were when you were 13.
But the mind is so cruel because it always goes back to that one crappy episode in your life and dwells on it.
Yeah.
Angel.
Yes.
Without dredging up too many painful memories, you were 13.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a guy you knew, or was it a family member, or what was the deal?
The deal was I have no idea what his name, who he even was, except for his first name, which was David.
It was just somebody you knew?
No, it was I went to a private party with my best friend at the time, Ye, and it was her boyfriend's best friend, and she knew about it, but she didn't care to stop it or anything because she was too busy getting laid in the shower.
So, did you bring charges up against this guy?
No way.
Why not?
I didn't even tell my parents until 4 years later.
Wow.
But
Had you ever been abused in any other way when you were younger?
no,
This was the first experience like that. For you.
yeah, and it was totally devastating. I lost 4 years of my memory from it. I don't remember the next 4 years, basically. I thought that it was my fault for a long time, and I didn't do anything about it. I didn't want to remember. I went into a shell. I've dealt with it now, and everything's cool. It's just that I don't understand why I can't get past it when things start going well in my life.
Why do you think?
I have no idea. And I just want to know what to do.
Were things going well when it happened in the first place?
No. No, not at all. Things couldn't have been worse, actually.
When it happened?
Right.
Yeah.
And it happened 2 nights in a row.
Well, so 2 nights in a row?
Yeah. October 16th and October 17th.
All right, but Angel, how come you were back in that situation again?
Peer pressure, and like I said, I thought it was my fault.
Ugh.
All right, so you probably came from some abuse in the first place in order to think something like that was your fault?
No, it's just that I was 13 and I was just starting out puberty and all that jazz, and I didn't know, and I'd never known anybody that it happened to. I had no clue.
She just
So
Okay,
it had to be my fault.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first time certainly not. The second time you had some part in it. I mean, you got yourself back into that situation. I mean, you're 13.
Probably.
You didn't know, which way was up and which way was down, and no one blames you. But I bet there's a part of yourself that blames yourself for the second time, and it's probably not being too easy on yourself about that.
That's probably true, but it's not something that I think about on a daily basis.
Okay. So this is unresolved business. I mean, I don't want to take Drew's job over here, but you have to clean this up.
Right.
In your head, because it's floating around in your head, and you may not bring it up when you're conscious every day, but when you go to sleep, your subliminal mind is going to dredge this up again. So you got to get some therapy, you got to get some counseling, you have to talk to people who know about this stuff, and you have to sort of...
I went to a psychiatrist and through a regular counselor for over 3 years.
Mm-hmm. How'd that go?
That
must have gone okay. That's why you got out of this.
Yeah. Things have gone real well. It's just
you should get back in touch with the caretakers you had back then, at least the therapist, because there's something about the way you feel about yourself is challenged when you start to feel good, and you can't tolerate that, and so you've got to punish yourself again with these memories of what you've done in your own mind, what you think you've done to yourself.
You done?
Yeah.
All right. It's horrible. But on the brighter side, we have the... I guess now I was told not to use folks, but I could use gang, perhaps. We have the people from Pacific Blue in the studios, namely Darlene Vogel and Marcos Ferraez.
That's right.
Hey, that was pretty good. I'm going to screw it up later, though, so don't worry. Marcos, come up and speak to Mr. Microphone there. Thank you. Now, we had Squiggy.
David Lander.
David Lander on here. What was it, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I think.
And he plays the
bicycle mechanic.
The gay bicycle mechanic, right from Russia. Believe me, I saw right through his thin veneer.
Not very many people could. You're good.
Yeah, oh yes, I know. I can pick them. And
he gave you advice? Did he give you advice?
He didn't give me any, but he gave some of our listeners advice, and a lot of people killed themselves, actually.
That's scary, yeah.
Now,
no, we love
let's get to know. We'll talk about you guys, and then we'll talk about the show. Now, Marcos is filling in for
Paula Tricky.
Paula's
sick right now with bronchitis.
Right.
So that makes me feel really, really good.
So
I was like, Marcos, you got to do this. I mean, this is up his alley right here.
You dragged, seriously, Darlene, I heard you dragged Marcos in here because you're scared to come in here alone.
No, I'm never scared. I was just like, Marcos will bring the funny side to it, I think.
Marcos,
he talks about sex all the time on the set. Are you kidding me?
Marcos will kick my ass if I get out of line. That's what you were thinking.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now, Darlene, where the hell's that bio? You play like a ex-hotshot Navy pilot turned police officer.
Yes, very sarcastic, tough girl, beat everybody up with my fist. That's about it.
There's not a person that looks like you in the Navy, I guarantee it.
How do you know? You've been there?
I'll tell you how I know, because they do these, I look at the Playboys a lot. And they do these pictorials, once in a while, women of radio, women of the military, women of this and women of that. Women in radio, they can't even find a decent-looking one. They have, the women of radio are a couple of women who listen to the radio and an intern who started the day before. You ever see those things,
They just need a little makeover,
All right, so you're on the show, you're bussing people, you're riding a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Right. Now Marcos is a streetwise cop who's got his own brand of justice.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. Now, how's the show going?
The show's going great.
It's going great. The ratings are going up every week.
Really?
Yep.
Now, you probably don't like it being compared to Baywatch, but let's talk about that.
Everybody's comparing us to Baywatch only because it's at the beach, but that's a lifeguard show. We're a cop show, and our storylines are a little bit deeper.
Right.
We like to get the ratings and the recognition like Baywatch, but...
No 20-minute slow-motion montages with a Hasselhoff tune in the background.
Hey, if we don't pick girls in bikinis, we got Babe Watch after our butts.
Rick Rossovich is a big singing star in Italy. I mean, he's going for the whole... Oh, yeah.
But he's not doing the theme like that god-awful Hasselhoff.
No, thank God, no.
All right, let's jump back to the phones. We'll get a little more into this later on tonight. Jerry, 21, you're on LoveLine.
Yeah, I'm calling because I'm a complete getting-on. It's like if I was on Love Connection, Chuck would say, "This is Jerry. Well, he dates. Well, he sat next to a girl on a bus one time."
Okay. So, yeah. You get nothing, right, Jerry?
Nothing. It's like my current girlfriend has a tag on her that reads, "Inflate to 75 PSI."
Jerry, maybe it's the bad one-liners that are keeping the ladies away. We got Slappy White on the other line
Super
here.
Sales.
Jerry. Yeah.
You got a good sense of humor?
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone says women love a good sense of humor.
I wish that were true.
Total lie.
I think so.
Complete lie.
Not true.
Total lie.
You gotta laugh. If you don't laugh, you don't have anything.
Yeah. I just don't know what to say to girls.
All right.
I don't know what to say.
All right, Darlene, make Jerry feel a little better about himself. I mean, give him the woman's perspective.
Okay, Jerry, give me one of your one-liners.
I don't have any. It's like my heart starts beating fast, and I'm like, I want to make love to a schoolboy. I get all flustered.
To a schoolboy?
That's a one-liner.
That's another show.
You're going to be doing your comedy from San Quentin, Jerry.
Maybe you're trying too hard, Jerry. Maybe you just got to be yourself, not worry about what you're going to say. Just say what comes naturally. Make sure it's not that stupid.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, here's what you have to adopt.
All right.
We need a total personality makeover on you. All right, I'm sizing you up, Jerry. You're sporting the maroon windbreaker. You got the comb hanging out of your back pocket, right? Bad Kennington shirt with a 6-foot collar like Dan Tana used to wear. Jerry, listen, here's what you do. You get yourself a beat-up T-shirt.
All right.
You get yourself some jeans, and you kind of, pull them down, Levi's, let the boxer shorts hang out in the back, and you just walk around like you just learned your family died in a plane crash the day before.
That's perfect.
You get pissed off. You go for that brooding thing, right?
Yeah,
vulnerability.
Absolutely.
You look down, and you're just pissed, and then all of a sudden, all the women they'll want to get through to you. They'll want to know what's wrong and how to make it better.
It would be like, what's
Yeah, but then what happens after that?
Then they find out he's a wisecracking idiot and dump him. But maybe he gets some sex in the interim, is what I'm saying.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, Jerry?
Well, thanks a lot.
No more one-liners.
All right.
Brood.
Thank you.
All right. I'm right, though, aren't I? Women love that?
They like it when a man shows their vulnerable side, I have to say. Sometimes. But, we do like the tough guys, too.
Right. We like
Right, Marcos?
Hey, look, there's a woman with a power trip here, okay? Please. Another
you got
one.
a Scorpio on your hands.
Well, there's two. So am I.
Melissa.
Yeah, my problem is I masturbate in my sleep.
Oh, really?
I used to be,
How does she know that?
actually, I was molested by my mother.
By your mother?
Yeah.
What happened?
She was a Holy Roller Christian, and ever since I was born, she used to invite women over to the house. I had to watch them take showers together. It was just horrible. But I was molested until I was about 7, and then I went to therapy for 5 years, and I got out when I was 12. And just lately, I've realized when I wake up, I can find discharge underneath my fingernails, and I can tell that I've been masturbating in my sleep.
All right, Melissa, you're 14 now?
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to hear a little more about your mom. What was up with that?
I don't know. I really don't.
Are you still living with her?
No, I'm not. I live with my father, which I think might be even worse.
And she was abusing you by exposing you to her exploits?
Yeah, she was also, she did a lot of things. She used to hit me with wooden spoons till they broke, and then I'd get in trouble for them breaking. Then she'd switch to the sticks outside. I mean, even now living where I do live, it's not a very safe environment overall.
Well, what's going on with your dad?
he's turned into a pothead. He's violent. I always get told that I'm worthless, that I'm just nothing. And I mean, it's just. I mean, at least I have a high self-esteem.
Well, I don't know how were you able to maintain a high self-esteem in that kind of environment?
I'm a happy-go-lucky person.
Well, that may be a cover.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how you can feel good.
Yeah,
about
I don't know
yourself.
how you can pull that one off. You should get an Oscar for that one.
I'm slipping into the really depressed stage.
I bet.
I'm getting. I used to be like that, but then I just figured, try to make the best out of your life.
Well, that's good if you can. It's great.
But my question is, I mean, is this something that maybe? I mean, is it something maybe psychological that I'm doing in my dreams? Because I dream every night, and
Melissa,
I can't remember my dream.
I doubt it. There's a natural tendency for people to do stuff like that, right?
I find it nasty.
But Melissa, when people, for instance, are coming out of a coma, the first thing they start doing is hanging on to themselves.
Oh, if I was in a coma for a day, I'd be way behind.
Right. Well, I don't mean that they actually masturbate, but there's some kind of a tendency for people to.
Well, you kind of
revert
revert to what you're like when you're a kid. You should see Drew's kids, by the way. Oh man, it's all over the place. Listen, Melissa.
Yeah.
This is probably the least of your worries.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point.
I think it's more. I'm more concerned about why you would feel so compelled and obsessed about things like this to call a radio show and whatnot.
Well, it was a reason to talk about her pain.
Right.
And all right.
Right.
All right. So
That's the point.
We got 30 seconds. So Melissa, listen.
Yeah.
You were treated very unfairly.
Yeah.
And your parents should both be sterilized and then sodomized. Anything with an eyes, martinized, everything should be done to your parents. They're horrible people. But just because they're horrible doesn't make you horrible.
Yeah.
Just because they treated you horribly doesn't mean you deserve to be treated horribly. This is their crap.
Yeah.
It's not yours. They're forcing it on you, but you don't have to accept it. You don't have to wear it around, but it's not going to be easy. I mean, you got to get therapy. You have to get away from this situation as soon as possible, and you have to maintain your sanity, any way you can.
Meantime,
You're just going to have to be strong.
Well, she is. But
Yeah,
she's doing.
okay, she is.
But don't worry about what you're calling about. Please don't worry about it.
And we'll be back.
LoveLine will be
After these messages, we'll be right back.
LoveLine.
Hi, this is Nev Campbell, and you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hi. You are so right.
I know that.
Let me get the phone number out. 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. We're here with Darlene Vogel and Marcos Ferraez.
2 out of 2.
That's 2 out of
2 out of 2. From Pacific Blue on USA, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Because we're going out around the country and the clock's different.
Is that right?
All right,
Well,
so give us
Saturday,
let's talk about the show for a moment.
Go ahead.
Give us one of the more provocative storylines that has taken place so far. And have you?
It's always my storyline. I'm always the one that's set up with the doofuses every week.
Oh, you're the single one?
Well, we all are single, but for some reason they keep setting me up.
And are you too big a ball buster to
Yes,
go out
I
with
am.
guys? So you go out and you just bust their balls,
I
right?
do. Well, one of them I did because he tried to lick my badge and made me put on my gun holster thing while we were,
Is that what you're
on
calling
the
it?
way to the
Oh, okay.
program. And so I kind of kicked him in the groin and
I think you could say.
Yeah, I just said ball busters.
balls. Yeah, he kicked him in the balls, and I got him off me, and that was one of them. I can't remember what happened to the other ones. The other one
I think
died.
the next show, I think they do that whole lesbian story on you.
Oh,
can't-
that's going to grab
We
some
got the
ratings.
lesbian story next season.
It's okay. I recreated a whole lesbian thing just from my living room actually one Saturday. But let me ask this now. Have you been doing the show long enough to have a very special episode where you deal with bulimia or something like that? Have you gotten into any of that stuff yet?
We have a show, I think, that was dealing with racism, which was pretty good.
Is that coming up? Or?
that already aired. This weekend we have it's steroids, the steroid problem.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, diet pills possibly the following week?
Interesting. This is relevant to that.
Oh, Drew, you said something.
Attention.
Kristen, 19, you're on LoveLine.
Wow, I can't believe I got in. Hi.
Hey.
I had a question about a supposed new drug called GHB.
Right.
I don't know if Dr. Drew's heard about that.
Okay, well, it's not a new drug, and it's been around for quite some time. And that's why I brought it up in reference to what we were all talking about in here, in that it's used to be available through muscle magazines. It's thought to increase growth hormone release, and people became aware that not only did it do that, but it also intoxicated people. It's
it feels like makes you feel like you're drunk or something.
Yeah, it's a congener of a drug of a chemical called GABA, which is sort of the down-regulating chemical in your brain. The thing about GHB, though, and by the way, it is not the first time around for this drug. It's probably the second time around this one's become in vogue. In fact, when River Phoenix died, everybody wanted to blame that on GHB because apparently he'd been using a GHB. But believe me, that was a speed death. That's a routine speed death. That's how people die when they're on speed. GHB does it quite differently. The problem with GHB is you can't really contain or control the dosing. It's real hard to tell how much you're getting, and you can very easily overdose. You can be unconscious. You can have trouble breathing. You can get heart rhythm problems. You can have seizures. So it is not a benign drug. People tell me that they use it, say that on average a small dose feels like drinking 12 beers.
Really?
Yeah.
And you can get that from a magazine or what?
I think they may have outlawed it in most states. I don't know where it is now, but they mix it up. They put it in big jugs and keep it in the refrigerator. I did a thing on the home show, and that was still on. They were real interested in this. They did a whole investigative report on it. And
you were on the home show?
Yeah.
Did you have to wear a flowered apron?
No.
Dr. Drew on the home show. You got that on tape?
Somewhere, I'm sure.
All right, I got to see that. Bring that in. Jennifer, 23 on LoveLine.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. You watch Pacific Blue?
No, actually.
I put a curse on you.
I work too much to watch TV.
Saturday nights you work?
I listen to this show every night, though.
She's a stripper.
On my way home from work. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, here's my question. This is going to be strange, I'm sure. Let me give you a little history. I've been dating the same guy for 3 years. Very active sex life. Very active. No complaints. We mastered the simultaneous orgasm. Okay, so we've got that going on.
He could be faking.
No, I don't think so.
That's the highlight.
We took some time apart. I moved to California, and we decided to get back together. So we've been having a long-distance relationship since December. And so I've seen him 3-4 times, and the intervals have been about 5 weeks at the most. And every time we have sex, it hurts. Any position, every position, it's uncomfortable. And I'm getting a little frustrated.
Have you had a pelvic exam?
No, I haven't.
Wouldn't that be
I have kind of a crazy question. I'm wondering, does masturbation affect anything like that? Because when I don't see him, which is every 5 weeks, I see him once every 5 weeks. You can imagine what I'm doing in the meantime.
Oh, you're wearing a hole in your comforter, aren't you?
No.
Jennifer, give us your give us the technique. Are you doing the tub thing? Are you humping the pillow? What are you doing?
No, it's just the outside.
Right.
Just the hand to the outside. Pretty simple, pretty quick, pretty painless.
Just using the hand, huh?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
What kind of frequency are we talking about?
Once a day, for sure.
Once a day?
Yeah.
Once a day, maybe twice a day?
Maybe.
All right, you're devoting 4 hours a day to masturbation, but you can't spend an hour a week and watch Pacific Blue?
I mean, really? Saturday nights, you work on Saturday? Forget about it.
She works on herself Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, Drew, could there be anything to that?
No.
I'm not exercising myself too much.
No.
Okay.
No, but it could be anything. I mean, you need to get a pelvic exam, see what's going on.
But I don't have to admit to the physician that I masturbate all the time, do I?
Well, look, you're
23.
It's you should feel comfortable to say whatever you need to say to your doctor. I mean, if you're not comfortable, you may want to get a change in physician.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what.
Here,
I mean, it's peculiar that you, for quite some time, were okay, and then all of a sudden now you have pain. So something has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if your gynecologist starts laughing when you tell him about your sexual problems, it may be time to get a new gynecologist.
Okay.
Darlene, you ever have a gynecologist bust up on you?
I've had one ask me out after he checked me out.
Are you serious? Because he already got to third base.
I guess he liked what he saw, so.
I practically had sex with you. Could I just buy the meal now?
He's not my regular gynecologist. He was just a fill-in.
Wow.
No pun intended.
So he was... It was like a swinging gyno. Was he wearing a big rope gold
Needless
chain?
to say, I said no.
Really?
Didn't want to go there.
But he's a doctor.
So you told me about with the pinky ring, right? That one guy with the pinky ring?
Yeah, he wanted it back.
You know what? In all seriousness, though, if anybody else out there has that experience, they definitely should say no.
Yeah.
The only way that can be ethically even remotely a possibility is if the doctor says, "Hey, look, I've got no. Look, it has to be honest.
This is Drew met his wife, by the way.
No. It has to be honest, and I would like to terminate the patient-doctor relationship here because
it's embarrassing.
If you terminate that first, and then then you're just two people again. If you're still a patient-doctor thing, that is untouchable.
So while on the
mess around
strokes,
with
it's
that.
not a good idea, but maybe after, like when you walk outside.
Did he have the decency to wait till you got the...
Oh, yeah, it was a couple days later.
Oh, really?
Lie.
Yeah. No, I swear. Yeah. Are you kidding? No.
She does better acting in Pacific Blue, I assure you.
I dated my proctologist for a number of months. I don't know if that goes against any code.
He's the one that taught you how to shave?
Okay, Drew. Drum old and painful memory. Anna?
Yes.
You're 24, you're on LoveLine.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Dr. Drew.
Anna.
How you doing?
Good.
I was just calling to respond to the bisexual that called yesterday from Modesto.
Right.
He was really bummed out because there were she'd been turned down a lot, I guess.
She'd been made fun of.
Made fun of, yeah. Well, I'd like to know who she's, like, going out with. I mean, you don't
She was a senior in high school.
Uh-huh.
She was high school age.
I mean, is she asking altar boys out or something? I mean, there's plenty of weird sex to be had in Modesto, and actually, believe me. And actually, she may just want to, I mean, the way she was talking, it sounded like, he'd come to her house, pick her up, and then as soon as the door slammed behind him, she'd offer him a menage a trois.
Right. Yeah, she was kind of wearing it out on her sleeve, although, Anna?
Uh-huh.
You from Modesto?
I sure am.
You've made the rounds there in Modesto, have you?
A little.
Uh-huh. And you can vouch personally for all the bizarre and deviant sex that goes on in Modesto?
I was born in Modesto. Thank God I didn't grow up there.
Oh, were you? Is that where your gynecologist lives?
No.
No, I mean, like,
only born
kind of like on the first date, you can't break out the whips and chains. There's a sexual etiquette you have to go through.
Right. People will get scared.
Yeah, and I'm sure you probably, Adam, have a chart for the correlation between certain sexual acts and length of time you have to go out with someone.
Oh, I certainly do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where's the scale? Where's that one?
Well, which one are we looking at? You mean talking about the threesome?
Mm-hmm.
That's just below bringing up sodomy.
Yeah, so I thought...
That comes after the second date.
Yeah, so she may have a little bit more success if she just kind of hangs out, waits a little while, eases it in.
All right, Anna.
That's about it.
Anna's had sex with everybody in Modesto, so she should know. I bet Anna's probably been one of the callers, one of the partners of the caller she's talking about. If that made any sense at all.
No, you better go to commercials.
We'll be back.
LoveLine will be right back to say something interesting or humorous or something.
Yes, we's back here on LoveLine. And the phone number here, 1-800-LOVE-191. The fax number, 310-854-4455. We're here with Darlene Vogel and Marcos Ferraez. Both from the hit, and I'm calling it hit TV series because people are riding around in tight shorts. Pacific Blue on the USA Network at 8 o'clock Pacific time, Saturday nights. Now, you guys have the greatest jobs in the world we were talking about during the commercial because you're paid to ride a bicycle down the boardwalk on Venice Beach, right?
Yep. We get to work out in the nice sunshine and work on the beach.
Now, what about stunts?
We do certain stunts to an extent, but, if we're going to get hurt, of course we can't. We've got the top stunt bicyclists in the world, Hans Ray and Eddie Fiola. Is that how you say his last name?
Absolutely.
Eddie Fiola. And they do 360s in the air, upside down, jumping off piers. I mean, it's amazing. Jumping over cars.
And there's a lot of chase scenes on bicycles.
A lot. In every episode, yeah.
And there's a lot of bikes crashing and people jumping over stuff and chasing down gang members.
Yeah, we do a lot more than normal bike patrol really does, but we have to make it a little interesting.
Yes, I've seen the normal bike patrol. Those guys, they don't look like you. They're chunky guys. They're trying to figure out how to steer and eat a donut at the same time. Oh, and I don't want to get
They're not that bad.
All right, I don't need any more trouble.
You'll get another letter.
I already got the LAPD Vice Squad on me, so all I need is a bunch of guys with bikes and guns on me now. Now we're going to take some fun calls, damn it. Michelle, 18.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you guys?
We're all good.
Okay. I have 2 quick questions for Dr. Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on tetracycline for acne, and then once a month I take Lodine for cramps, and I was wondering if having both of those in my system at the same time would cause a bad reaction.
No. Well, they're both a little tough on your stomach and esophagus.
Uh-huh.
And both a little tough on the liver, but there's no big deal.
Oh,
they can
okay.
go together.
And another one, I also heard like a couple days ago that if a man has a vasectomy, he's at more risk of getting prostate cancer. Is that the truth?
That is not fact, but it's been a concern, and people are studying it. It's not been a particularly reproducible piece of data.
Because, engineer, the one-nut wonder, Engineer Mike, had the vasectomy a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And his prostate did feel swollen the other night.
When you tested it? When you checked it?
Yeah. Here, you want to smell my face?
No, I don't.
Okay. Darlene.
Yeah.
You never had your dermatologist come on to you, did you?
No.
Okay, just
foot doctor.
Just a guy. All right, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Now, Melissa.
Yes.
21, you're on LoveLine.
Hi, I have a question about sperm.
Great.
My boyfriend has really chunky sperm, and I'm wondering why.
Like overweight?
Too much milk in the diet?
You could eat it with a fork, but use a spoon.
You don't mean the sperm, you mean the semen.
Yes.
Look, anything that comes out of the penis that's not urine is sperm, Drew. Let me tell you the way people think. It's sperm.
Right.
It's all sperm.
Sperm.
Yeah, Marcos, you seem like a guy who's just churning out the testosterone. You probably make more sperm than the average guy. Would you agree to that?
I would have to say yes.
Yeah, I think you made $10 billion just waiting to answer that question.
Is yours chunky, Marcos?
You could strain mine. I don't have a problem with it.
Wow, you guys are nasty.
I eat a lot of celery.
It's that damn USA Network that's got you going this way.
You should hear Paula. We're back. I know you're listening.
She's real nasty.
Paula's got a great
I'm sure it has to do with his diet. That's all.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Could it be, maybe you need to shake your nuts like a paint can. Maybe that's what's going on. You know that works? Like when you make a shake or something, you put it in a fridge for a while, and you need to kind of... Drew?
Oh, yeah.
What is the real answer to that question?
What is the answer to that?
The real answer is there's nothing to it. I mean, it's not anything, it's not nothing.
Drew, that means Drew doesn't know.
No, it means
Drew doesn't know.
It means don't worry about it.
He doesn't know. Melissa?
Yes?
It's that way every time.
It's like it's got the normal fluid.
Right.
But then there'll be like chunky balls within the fluid,
Jesus.
And it has like a darker yellow color to it, and he says it's always been like that.
Yeah.
And is it now? But it's not big. It's not grapefruit size, is it?
I mean,
like hail in the Midwest.
There
is
can
it?
be infections that can cause that sort of thing, and blood can cause that sort of stuff. But for the most part, it's really nothing.
Okay.
So completely normal.
Not completely normal, but not anything to worry about.
That's for sure.
Leanne.
Yeah.
You don't want any of that, Darlene?
No, not really, no.
That's okay.
Leanne, you're 23, you're on LoveLine. What's your question?
Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Okay. Well.
You've been listening to LoveLine.
The opinions expressed on LoveLine, especially by Adam Carolla, are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or sponsors.
Or even the character voices. LoveLine, produced by Ann Wilkins for Westwood One Entertainment. Copyright 1996. So don't even think it.